All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Mr. Nedved, please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Still remember.
Good evening, everyone. Commissioner Brody couldn't be with us tonight. Is there any additions or deletions to the agenda?
No, sir.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes from the last public business meeting?
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Alrighty. Getting into our action agenda tonight, we have several items related to setting our levy for fiscal year 2022. We're going to start with our budget message, and this is something we do annually, and it reads as follows. Dear Allegheny County residents, the fiscal year 2022 was prepared during an unprecedented time in American history. Over the last 15 months, Allegheny County's residents endured a tidal wave of uncertainty, fear, isolation, and change as we endured the COVID-19 pandemic. We're optimistic that today we are well on our way to moving away from the pandemic and into a period of growth and recovery. During the preparation of this budget, it was the utmost importance to continue to demonstrate the fiscal restraint shown by the Board of Commissioners in previous budgets, and as a result, our 2022 budget includes no new tax increases. We're fortunate to be able to fully fund the requests of outside agencies who have all dealt with their own challenges throughout the pandemic. And we'd like to especially thank Allegheny College of Maryland, Allegheny County Public Schools, the Allegheny County Health Department, and the Allegheny County Library System for their continued partnership for making very reasonable funding requests as they fully understand these uncertain times. While continuing to restrain the growth of government, Allegheny County has successfully utilized federal and state stimulus funds to help our citizens throughout the pandemic in the form of small business, restaurant, and hotel grants and social programs. As a result, we have been able to put necessary funds directly into hundreds of county businesses over the last year to help them survive the pandemic. At the same time, we're fully prepared our own county workforce to be more resilient and responsive through the use of technology and teleworking. The fiscal 22 budget continues to fund emergency management, historic levels, continues to invest in education, and further invests in public infrastructure. We continue to benefit from partnerships forged between the county, our local agencies, state and federal partners that have only strengthened during the pandemic. Allegheny County government's fiscal 22 operating and capital improvement program can be found at the county's website. That's prepared sincerely the Board of County Commissioners, Jake Shade, President, Creed Brody, Dave Caparelli, Commissioners. So before we go on to anything else, I just want to thank Jason Bennett for working on this, and his staff, Pam Diaz, and some other folks in the tax office. We couldn't do it without you. I certainly would put our record against anyone's. You know, it's been many years since the county had a tax increase because we're trying to live within our means, and so I think if the state and federal government would do similar budgeting, we wouldn't have the same situations we do, statewide and nationally. I will say this: we have some updated numbers. In the last year, since May of 2020. We've done 662 grants to small businesses. It totals $3,502,158. Some of that was passed through for the state. Some of that was just county money. And we have another $353,000 for lodging, nonprofit recovery, and telework assistance that will go out before June 30th. So in whole, about $4 million, and this is on top of other state money direct or obviously the PPP money. So it's been a pleasure to be able to step up, and Ashley Workman really spearheaded that, and we appreciate all of her efforts, and I know the small businesses do too. That you don't expect the county being able to step up and help a little bit, but we've been able to. So. Gentlemen, with that, we'll move right into item number 2. This is the resolution to enact the fiscal year 22 operating and capital budget, in the amount of $136,648,550. Jason Bennett, County Administrator.
Thank you, Commissioners. As you see, a number of motions we'll have to take tonight to get the budget adopted. We've presented all this and been talking about all this since late January, so we've all heard it. Presented preliminary budget back on April 22nd, and tonight is just your chance to go ahead and formalize all of this. So bear with me if you would as we step through this. Item 2, Resolution 21-12 adopts the budget for the year, and as you mentioned, $136,648,550 budget. Includes a 2% cost of living for county employees. As you mentioned, general fund increases by just 2.1%. We'll continue with the same property and income tax rate as prior years. In this year's budget, we have $798,000 additional property tax dollars and about a $650,000 increase in income tax revenue, and we used approximately $1.4 million of fund balance. We were able to fully fund the Board of Education, Allegany College, Allegany Health Department, and library systems request, and we've stayed within our debt service goals. So your first item of business would be to adopt Resolution 21-12.
Gentlemen, any discussion? Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Great. All right, item number 3 is to adopt the tax levy and differentials.
Same thing here. So this is your property tax rate, including tax differential, includes personal property and public utilities. And as we've mentioned at length, no tax increase included here. So that, we need a motion for the levy.
Great. Any discussion? Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Item 4 is a motion to adopt the supplemental levy for the special taxing areas. Administrator Bennett.
Same thing here, many tax rates, including for our special taxing areas, our sanitary districts. So all we need here is a motion to approve these rates.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, item 5 is, I guess, advertising the newspaper.
Pretty simple one here. This just authorizes us to publish the budget. We'll also publish it paper form, and it'll be online within approximately a week.
All right, any discussion? I think this is the fastest we've ever spent 136 million, so. Okay, I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, moving on to our fiscal 22 sanitary commission recommendations. We have Deputy Director of Public Works, Mr. Adam Patterson.
Good evening, gentlemen. Guys, we're presented the recommended utility rates for next year at the May 13th meeting. Tonight, I'm not here to rehash everything. I'm here to answer any questions you all have. A couple high points, from my presentation on the 13th was that the water rates, the lion's share of the water rates were going up because of the water, our cost from water from Prosper. Any type of projects that we're doing, we have debt service related with those costs. We're behind on the sanitary side, and it's affecting how MBE is considering closing loans on active projects. So all in all, we didn't increase rates last year, and so the rate increase does seem rather large this time, at an average 9%. I'm just here to answer any questions you may have.
I think we went through this pretty good the other week. Is there any discussion? Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Thanks, Adam. Okay.
Thanks, Adam.
Item 7 is a motion to adopt and approve our capital improvement plan for fiscal 22 and 26. We had a detailed overview of this at the last meeting. Oh, Andrew, you're already there.
Good evening. So in the interest of not going through a detailed overview again, I'll just kind of echo what Adam said. This is a process to formally adopt and approve the proposed 5-year capital improvement plan for projects exceeding $25,000 from various county agencies. Presented 2 weeks ago at the meeting and seeking formal approval and adoption at this time.
Great. Is there any discussion? Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Great, thanks, Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
Okay, rolling right along. We have House Bill 880. This is an Allegheny County alcoholic beverage license annual fee. Mr. Ram Pillai is the attorney for the Board of License Commissioners.
Good evening. Basically, I'm here to we're essentially asking the county to refund the reimbursements as created by House Bill 880. House Bill 880, which is an emergency delegation bill, gives relief to alcoholic license holders in this county. For the license period of 2020-2021, there was language in the bill that they may reimburse license holders the full amount for on-premises only and half amount for on and off premises. And then for the 2021-2022 licensing period, there's language in there that they shall waive the entire amount for the off-premises only and waive half the fee for the on and off premises. And simply the Board of License Commissioners, otherwise referred to as the Liquor Board, is asking the county to fund those reimbursements.
Great. I want to thank the delegation for putting in this bill because the restaurants and bars were some of the hardest hit by the pandemic. You know, they had to be closed. And obviously, if you were on site only, then your business was severely affected. If you were on and off site, you know, you might have been okay or not as badly hurt. But so if you're on site, you'll have 100% of your license fees refunded. And if you provide on or off site, you'll have 50% of your license fees refunded. So we'll get information out to those impacted businesses and I guess some checks too.
Yeah, so in the case where those businesses have already paid, we'll work with the liquor board to get a list from them of who needs refunded, and we'll take care of getting those pushed out the door.
Great.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is a great idea, and I think it's really going to help some local businesses. So I'll make the motion. We approve the reimbursement.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ply. Good to see you working hard.
All right. Item number 9 is Nonprofits Local Government Program Grant Agreement. Mr. Dave Nedved, the man in black.
My favorite color. This is the NORI. The state loves to give everything acronyms. The government loves to give everything acronyms. Allegheny County is receiving $232,947 in nonprofit recovery initiative funding to make grant awards to local nonprofits. The first round was administered and awarded by the Maryland state government, specifically DHCD, the Maryland Department of Housing and Community Development, another acronym. The total for the first round was $289,850. The second round is being administered and awarded by Allegheny County government. The awards will be made by the Allegheny County's Department of Economic and Community Development, DECD. NORI provides grant assistance to nonprofit organizations whose critical operations were financially impacted by COVID-19 and the state of emergency. As I speak, applications for nonprofits to complete were made available starting May 17th at noon, and they will be available until tomorrow at 4 o'clock. So get them in. Go to the county website, and basically I don't want to read this all, but it's under county grant programs at AlleganyGov.org. And the applications are in Word or in a fillable PDF. So whatever you choose, and I'll take both. And when completed, can be sent to me at dnedved@AlleganyGov.org. And the awards will be announced June 15th, 2021. And why am I before you? In order to receive this funding, the president of the Board of County Commissioners has to sign a grant agreement. And further, the president has to sign any additional documents that may be required in the future that relate to this grant agreement. So I'm before you asking if you would authorize the president to sign the grant agreement and any other documents that may be related that to award this funding, to accept this funding and then award this funding.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Meeker.
Thank you.
Is there any discussion?
No, sir.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Great.
Thank you.
All right. Item number 10 is Mr. Larry McKenzie, CFO of the Allegheny County Public Schools. This is a fiscal 21 end of year budget amendment.
Good evening. I have for your consideration this evening a budget amendment, and this was previously approved by our board unanimously. As a result of this amendment, changing totals previously approved within budget categories, it does require the approval of the Board of Commissioners. That being said, this amendment does not change the overall budget, but really just redistributes some resources within the budget categories. For instance, there were things this year that were not able to occur as a result of COVID, such as outdoor school, some professional development, those types of things, and we wish to repurpose some of those funds to be able to purchase some infrastructure needs and some one-time type items. Those would include, for instance, transfer for food services of $400,000 to cover some revenue shortfalls within that program. Even though the kids ate for free, there's still a revenue gap as a result of kids not having to make payments, as well as a la carte sales. Also, $250,000 for operations, which will provide some additional scrubbing and ride-on buffing equipment, as well as the final 6 sites for new phone systems. Some maintenance needs as well. We're currently we would be replacing 4 20-year-old trucks that look like bread trucks that you see, the green trucks, as well as some additional miscellaneous paving and flooring needs. $500,000 for our retiree insurance fund, which there's been an increase obviously in the number of retirees in recent years, and this will help to meet those ongoing needs. And then lastly, $500,000 to move from the capital outlay through school construction for the Mountain Ridge Turf Project, as well as the Greenway Avenue project study. So to be able to move those around, we would be taking $1 million from fixed charges, $200 from instructional salaries, $300 from instructional supplies. And again, as I mentioned, this does not change the level of the county's appropriation, nor does it impact any future appropriation relative to the district's maintenance of effort. However, these, if approved, these changes would certainly have a lasting impact on our infrastructure. So, thank you for your consideration of this request.
Thank you.
All right. Sounds good to me. Gentlemen, any discussion?
No discussion.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Great.
And Commissioners, if I
Thanks,
could,
Larry.
borrow Larry just for a minute. We learned late last week, and we figured we'd talk about it a little bit tonight. Maintenance of effort is going to go up from our original calculation for next fiscal year. I guess it was mid to late week last week we found out.
Correct.
So Larry's sort of here to help out. We'll work through this. It's gone up approximately 700 and
740, I think, something like that.
yeah. This is a little bit of what we talked about at budget time, that we thought this was a possibility. We didn't know. We finally got the final answer from the state. So what we'll do as a county is we'll come back probably in June and amend the budget. We'll have you commissioners take action to amend next year's budget. We obviously have to fund maintenance of effort. So we'll have to work through that and decide which way we want to do it. But I just thought while Larry was here, in case you guys had any questions about what we'll have to do there. This is part of Kerwin, really, that's started now. So.
All righty.
That's correct.
Thanks, Chief.
Mhm.
Thanks, Larry. Okay. Moving on to a large consent agenda tonight.
So Commissioners, 9 items on your consent agenda tonight. Item 11 is the Scattered Site Housing Cooperation Agreement to update our pilot agreement with them. Item 12 is Hartford Workers' Compensation Insurance Fund fiscal year 22 contract renewal. Item 13 is the Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield Medical Insurance Plan renewal through fiscal 22. Item 14 is Solid Waste Management Board appointments to appoint Dusty Hilbert to the Solid Waste Management Board and to reappoint Paul High. Item 15 is Solid Waste Management Board bylaws amendment to ratify an amendment to remove mention of treasurer and change sunshine laws in the Open Meeting Act. Item 16 is the Allegheny County Sanitary Commission authorize the appointment of Pat Helmstetter to serve as a member of the commission with a term to expire June 1, 2027. Item 17 is the North Branch Industrial Park Water System Pressure Reducing Vault to approve the replacement of the vault to WC Whale Company in the amount of $62,501. Item 18 is Route 36 Waterline Replacement Emergency Community Water Assistance Grant and the amount of $150,000. And finally, item 19 is the UPMC Western Maryland Health System Service Agreement.
Great. Any discussion? Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Great. All righty. Administrator Bennett.
Just one quick thing, and while Larry's sitting here, just if you pass along to the board a thank you for graduation was yesterday for all 3 schools, and I know Larry had one there, I had one there. It was a nice event. They did a good job, so thank you to them.
Great. Attorney Beeman.
I have nothing, thank you.
Great. Commissioner Caparella.
Just everyone have a happy and safe Memorial Day weekend.
Buy a lot of bread.
Well, that too.
All righty. We do have one announcement tonight. We are moving ahead with the fair. The 35th anniversary of the Allegheny County Fair will be July 16th through 24th, 2021. The tickets for the 2 concerts that require the tickets, Josh Turner and For King and Country, those are going to go live on June 1st. So we have Josh Turner for King and Country. We also have Live Wire, which is a free concert, as well as the Aryan Band. So there's stuff going on every night. That'll be published online. And because it's the 35th anniversary, there's actually going to be free admission. So please go out, enjoy that. It's good to be back to normal and have a nice time. So, gentlemen, with that, our next public business meeting will be Thursday, June 10th, 5 p.m. This room. Thanks.